So most bone conduction earbuds like the Mojo 2s from Mojawa promote themselves to be for people who like to run and run outdoors, even working out outdoors. So when they sent me the Mojo 2s to review, I wasn't sure if I was actually going to be able to use them and utilize them in my day-to-day life. But I did, and I'd love to share why and how. So let's talk tech. So the Mojo 2s offer open ear safety and comfort. They have their 3rd generation patented maglev base actuator. They also promise a nice secure fit and 26 grams, which is pretty lightweight for earbuds, super fast charging, 8 hours of battery life, and user-friendly controls. They retail at $150, but right now are on sale on their website, on Mojawa's website, or on Amazon. Affiliate links are in the description below if you want to get them. But I want to talk to you what I enjoyed most about them first. They have their patented base actuator, whatever that's called, whatever it is, it works. When you're thinking about bone conduction, you're not thinking of sound quality necessarily, but they really add a whole level of a great experience when it comes to the bass on these earbuds. Like with traditional earbuds, when you put them in, you hear the bass, they kind of play through it, but here you really feel the bass, and it's really cool. It's a really nice experience. It can get a little weird when you have it too loud or too much, but for the most part, it is a really enjoyable experience, especially if you enjoy bass. But more on that later and how sometimes it's a little bit of a con. Another thing I really enjoyed is that they had volume control on the headset. On the right side of your ear, you can swipe up and down to control your volume as you work out or whatever you're doing, so you don't have to reach for your phone to do so. Really great feature, especially because I use the AirPods Pro 2 now, and I kind of come to expect that from all earbuds, and it's nice to know that these Mojo 2s have that. With the bone conduction earbuds, you also are protecting your ear and your hearing in the long term. A lot of people like to blast your music in ears at the full maximum volume, and it's not necessarily great for your eardrums and for your overall hearing health. The bone conduction headset is definitely going to help with that and the longevity of your hearing if you're using these instead of traditional in-ear earbuds. So if that's something you care about, you might consider switching to bone conduction. And honestly, the fit is great. It definitely seems like if for anybody who wants to run in them and work out with them, you will really enjoy them. I tried them out at the gym and they're really good. I just don't want to hear people at the gym, so I typically will have active noise cancellation earbuds in. They do send these with ear tips that you can put in, but it just feels weird to do that. So the bone conduction definitely is useful when you're running outdoors, I'm sure. I just haven't done that myself. I have gone on a walk with them. They are nice, but I'm not necessarily wanting to hear the surrounding world all the time. So there are specific use cases for this, and one of those specific use cases that I found these useful in are like the moments where I am listening to a podcast or an audio and I want to have transparency mode on. With the in-ear earbuds like the AirPods Pro, even if I put it in transparency mode, if there's music playing, I don't hear much of what's going on. So there's been times where I've been cleaning dishes and listening to a podcast, even though my AirPods are on transparency mode. My wife accidentally startled me by sneaking up on me because I didn't hear it coming. But with the Mojo 2s, even if I was listening to a podcast or anything, I could hear everything really well, so I could hear my wife coming, and she hasn't startled me when I use these and I'm cleaning dishes late at night. So again, it's a very specific use case, but when you start realizing the difference between transparency mode and the open ear functionalities of these bone conduction earbuds, while still being able to hear what you want to hear, it's pretty great. Another use case is like at the office. When I am trying to focus in, I'll put in my headphones, and so I can eliminate all distractions and stuff like that. But there are times where I don't need to be focused in and I want to be available for my coworkers if they need me, but I still want to listen to music and I don't want to play music for the entire group. But using the Mojo 2s in those cases have been really helpful. I can still listen to music when I'm listening to lo-fi or listening to a podcast as I work. I can still hear them if they call my name and they need me. I can pause and play with the button on the left side of the ear and then lower the volume as I need to on the right side of the ear. Super clutch, again, like very specific use case, but it really helped me in those situations. I can still listen to my lo-fi while being available to my coworkers. Having these bone conduction earbuds really do what transparency mode obviously is trying to do better, but also like you don't have to do a mono mode anymore. Like if you want to be able to listen to something and still hear, another option is you have one earbud in your ear and the other ear free. That's great, but at least with these, you can hear your music with both ears and you can still hear what's around you and be alert with both ears. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. If you're enjoying this review so far, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more videos like this. If you want to get the Mojo 2s, make sure to use our affiliate links in the description below to support our channel so we can do more videos and reviews like this. But not everything is great about them. There are some things that left more to be desired. It's not enough for me to tell you not to buy them, but it's enough to at least note. If you have the bass a little too high, like I said earlier, you can start to feel it and it can be uncomfortable or tickle you if it's too loud. So just a little note there, just make sure that your volume isn't always blasting because you're gonna feel it, especially if it's a bass heavy song. Now, if you're trying to use this in a loud environment, say you're washing dishes or you're out and there's construction happening, at its fullest volume, you might not be able to hear it as well as it did if it was a little bit more quiet. With that being said, it's not necessarily something you expect from bone conduction earbuds, but it is something when I was using it, oh, I can't hear it here, so I need to pull out my AirPods or so on and so forth, instead of having to rely on those to perform better or get louder, obviously. They also claim to eliminate in-ear fatigue. While that is true, you will still have around your ear fatigue. I don't know if it was because how I was wearing them or what it was. I just know that it does happen and there is some sort of ear fatigue despite it not being in-ear fatigue. So there is that. A couple more small nitpicky things is that it doesn't have multi-point connection or basically the ability to connect to more than just one device. And while that's not necessarily a necessity, it is a nice to have, especially if you're spending over $100 for earbuds like this. It also doesn't have a case. I feel like it should have a nice case to protect these when you're not using them. They do give you a little pouch, but the pouch doesn't feel great. I rather just carry them by themselves. Yeah, it just feels like it's missing something there. And lastly, if you wear sunglasses or eyeglasses, it can be weird to have both stack on your ear at times. Not always. There's just, I don't know. I wear contacts for the most part, but when I wear sunglasses, it just, I don't know, it just didn't hit right. So yeah, just something to note. Not a big deal. Again, none of these are really deal breakers, but they are something that to note if you're going to be using these. One more thing I forgot to mention when I recorded the video originally is that this might not be a big deal, but it is another thing to note. Putting this on with one hand is a little challenging, but not impossible. It doesn't feel natural by any means. Like when you put it on with two hands, it's really easy, whatever. But if you have only one hand available, the one way you can do this is holding it from the back and squeezing it with your thumb like this. And it will kind of open the back a little bit, just enough for you to be able to go over your head, hook it around one ear and then hook it around the other, and boom. There it is. It's not convenient in any way to put the earbuds on like that. It's definitely a lot easier just to put it with two hands, but sometimes you don't have both of your hands. So that might be important to you, it might not be, but it's just something to note. You know, it's just something to note. It's something I noticed. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta use two hands. So yeah, something to note. So who is this for? Obviously they're going to promote to those who are runners and people who work out outdoors. That is going to be helpful for them, sure. But just because you are not the athlete or someone who likes to run outdoors doesn't mean you'll find this useless. There are some very specific use cases, like I shared, for me that these really benefited me in. And you might find other use cases for yourself in your day-to-day life that you really actually will enjoy them. And for the sake of your ears, anybody and everybody should at least try these once in their life. Just bone conduction earbuds in general, because they really broke my expectations. And I don't know if it's just the Mojo 2s, but this is the first ones I ever tried. I might have to try other ones. So if you have recommendations, let me know in the comments below. As for the ratings, they're gonna get an 8 out of 10. My expectations were not low, but I didn't know what to expect. So these really did exceed my expectations, whatever they were. And I'm really happy that I got to try these out. If you want to get these earbuds, make sure to use our affiliate links in the description below. Help support our channel so that we can do more reviews like this in the future. And again, thank you to Mojawa for sending us this product so that we can review it and let you guys know whether or not you should consider trying them too. And honestly, I think you should. If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy any of our other earbud reviews right here. And we'll see you in the next video. Peace.